Hello and welcome to my creative space. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome to another DIY video. It is almost Christmas and I have two more Christmas hair bows DIYs. I hope you're excited to see how I created them. So let's get started. For this adorable gingerbread cookie bow, I am going to be using this ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby a while ago, and I don't know the names of the styles, I guess of the bows, but basically I looped it around 2 different times, and then once I figure out how big I think I need this to be, I just take my scissors and trim that, and then I am going to fold it in half, and where I created the crease, I am going to take some needle and thread, and I will be doing a running stitch, and I'm going to be cinching it in the middle. Now I'm going to take my scissors and trim both of the ends of this bow and into an angle, and then I'm going to take my lighter and burn the edges, and that is all I'm gonna do for now. Now I'm gonna take a piece of cardboard and I am going to create a circle. I use this candle holder that for some reason I was having a hard time tracing the circle, but then I figured it out, and then I took my scissors and trimmed the circle with my scissors. Now that I have my circle completed, I took my bow just to make sure that the head, or what is going to be the head, was the right size, and now I took my pencil and created a hole in the middle of this piece of cardboard. And then once I have that, I'm gonna be using the exact same ribbon to cover the head, and I basically just run it through, and then after I had a big piece in there, I just started running it through the middle a few times and adjusting it until I cover the circle completely. Now I found it that it was better to burn the edges because it was kind of coming unravel, or however you say that. And then I just burned the edges, and then I just kept going until I finished covering the circle with the ribbon. Once I was almost done, I trimmed the other edge and burned the edge as well, and then I basically decided to glue that down onto the cardboard and just glue it into place, and then I just ran the last loop on this and push it with my pencil, and once I had it through, I trimmed that down as well, and then I guess I glued that down first, and to know exactly where I needed to cut, and then I glued that down. Once I had that glued down, I trimmed it and burned the edges again, and just finished gluing whatever needed to be glued. And here is how the head is looking. Now next step is going to be adding some glue to the bottom where it's going to be the legs, I guess, whatever side I picked to be the legs. I glued that down to spread the bow a little bit more. Now to create our little gingerbread girl, I took a piece of this red ribbon and created a super cute little bow that is going to go on her head, and I just created the little bow how I create all my bows, I guess. So I'm gonna let you watch. To give my little bow a little bit more personality, I used these little buttons that I got from Hobby Lobby like 2-3 years ago. I believe they still sell them, and I think it looks so cute. Like, it turned out to look like a candy, and I love it. Now I'm gonna use these googly eyes to give my gingerbread bow some more life, and I put them on her face, and I also took this black glittery ribbon and created a little mouth for her, and I think it's looking adorable. that this ginger girl is ready or almost ready, it's time to put all the pieces together. And I'm gonna take an extra piece of this ribbon and I am going to fold it and create a little strip, and that is going to cover up where I cinched the bow. And I'm not gonna make it tight or anything because I don't want to tighten my bow because it's going to be too cinched for this to look like a gingerbread girl. So I just took some glue and glued that to the bottom, a little piece of it, and then I glued the rest of it into the front. And then once I had that down, I added some hot glue and glued those two pieces on top to make it to spread it a little more. And then I am going to add some hot glue and glue the head down. At first I thought it was going to be a little flimsy, but it turns out to be totally fine. Once I have my little ginger girl or the head glued to the bow, I just added some of these little buttons that I had. And by the way, I cut the back of it, that's why you don't see them, but they were buttons. I glued 2 of them on there and they go perfectly with the little bow. And then now it's time to add the little icing on it, or what would be the icing. Now I found this ribbon at, I think it was Walmart. Yeah, it was Walmart. I bought it and that's what I'm gonna be using to make it look like it's icing. And I just started adding it and gluing it down with some hot glue, and it's very simple and easy, so I'm gonna let you watch. Now is the time to add the clip, and I'm gonna be using this alligator clip. I'm just going to add some hot glue to it and glue that down. Once I have that there, I trim another piece of this ribbon just to cover that up. And yeah, just burn the edges, add some hot glue and glue that down into place, and we are almost done. And here is the end result, and I love how adorable this bow turned out. For these adorable antler bows, I took a piece of cardboard and traced this antler on it, and then I took that antler and traced it on this gold ribbon that I already had on hand, and I trace 2 of them how you are seeing, and then I'm gonna turn them over and I'm gonna be tracing 2 more because one is going to be the front and one is going to be the back, and I need a total of 4. Now after I am done doing that, I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna trim them. So yeah. Now I took a popsicle stick and measured how big or tall I wanted this to be, and then cut that off and cut that in half. The reason why is because this ribbon is too flimsy and I needed them to stand up, so I decided to use this popsicle stick. Now this is the way I found it to work better. I just glue the popsicle stick onto one of the antlers, and then I glue in sections the other antler that would go on top, as you can see. And I found this to work better, so that is all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna glue my 2 pieces of ribbon together to create a super adorable antler. Now that both of my antlers are completed, I'm going to be creating the 2 little bows, and I'm gonna use this red sparkly ribbon. I love glitter. I know it's not for everybody, but this is the ribbon I had on hand, and that's what I'm gonna be using. And the bow is going to be very simple. I'm just going to do the exact same thing I do every single time I make these types of bows. But this time, what is going to be the top, I'm not gonna glue it down. As you can see there, I'm gluing down, or I'm folding down the two pieces. I'm gonna glue those down, and then what is going to be the top, I'm not gonna glue it because I need to glue my antlers first. And just to hold it in place, I added these little clips. Okay, now I'm removing it. You see how that part is not glued? That is where I'm going to glue my antlers, and I'm gonna use some hot glue for that. So I'm gonna add glue and then put my antlers and then put the clips back on until it dries to make sure it holds it in place. Now I'm gonna take this piece of white boa that I had on hand, and I'm gonna add it. I love adding boas to my bows because I just love them and I think it looks so cute. And I added white because I don't know, red, white, gold, it's Christmassy, and I just trimmed it to the size I needed it to be and glued that down. And just keep in mind that both of your antlers are facing the right way, and just glue the boa onto the back of that. All is left to do now is adding the clips to it, and I use the smaller alligator clips, and I just glued them down with some hot glue, as you can see, and they were ready to go. I think they turned out super cute. Let me know in the comments down below which one of these bows was your favorite. Mine, I had to say, was the gingerbread. I just think it turned out so cute. And here is a picture of the end result. I hope you like this tutorial. I love making bows. Let me know what you want to see in the future. Also, I want to wish you a happy and merry Christmas. I hope you have a safe Christmas with your family. Don't forget to tell them how much you love them. I also want to tell you how much I am thankful for you for being part of this creative squad, and I can't wait to see what we can create together in the future. Please don't forget to subscribe, give my video a thumbs up, and I will see you on my next DIY. Bye!